Following up on last month's video where we explored the delightful chaos that is Keriotosse on the Sega Saturn, I thought it'd be fitting to shift gears to the PlayStation, home to its own unique take on the genre in the form of Damdam Stompland. Released on the PlayStation in 1997, Dam Dam Stompland takes the familiar party game Arena Fighter formula and flips it on its head with a charmingly absurd twist, breaking away from the Bomberman-inspired standards of the time. At first glance, Dam Dam Stompland appears deceptively simple, but upon further inspection, there's actually a lot more going on under the hood than one might assume, with the premise of each fight being not to directly attack your opponent, but instead focus on stomping their shadow. This hilariously unconventional mechanic creates some wildly erratic matches, amplified by a handful of unique design choices. For one, it's not as simple as just putting boot to ground, as before each match, you're assigned a pattern ranging from A to H. This determines how the sun moves overhead, which in turn directly affects the movement of your shadow, making it a constantly shifting target. As a result, shadowboxing your opponent becomes wonderfully volatile as their silhouette might narrowly avoid your kick if the sun just happens to move at the right time. But this also means you're not safe in the air either, as one can still score a knockout if you jump at an inopportune time, accidentally moving your hitbox in their direct path. In an attempt to avoid such a fate, you have a faceplant button, which is actually a dash in case you want to attack from a distance rather than up close. But every time you miss, your character crashes out and it always makes me laugh. Odd as it is, dashing out of the way of an attack, while risky, can save you in a pinch. On top of that, you also have a special move, unique to each character, that can turn the tide when you're in trouble. These abilities range from spraying fire in every direction to other bizarre and useful skills like swimming through the floor, dizzying your opponent, or even crying and running away. Whether you're desperate or just looking to cause some chaos, these specials add yet another layer of spontaneity to the game. And it doesn't end there, as throughout matches, items will randomly appear, bringing both helpful power-ups and harmful ones. Cracking open a treasure chest can grant you a variety of surprises, like the ability to swiftly fly around the stage, or shrinking you down to the size of a mouse, drastically reducing your hitbox. But on the flip side, you can end up being cursed with the inability to jump, or even find yourself slowed to a snail's pace, leaving you wide open to attacks. With that in mind, when a stomp connects, you'll be treated to a satisfying pop as you send your opponent flying through the air. But don't celebrate for too long, as upon landing, your sprite temporarily increases in size, giving them a chance to strike back. Besides abilities and items, the stages themselves exhibit peculiar mechanics just ready to throw a curveball into your playstyle, with switches that change the sun's patterns, out zones where you can drown if you don't recover fast enough, and obstacles that can sidetrack your offense. You'll need to adapt on the fly as you chase down your opponent. Not to mention, you're dealt a plethora of stages that vary in size and style, adding even more ingenuity to the gameplay, like this strange New Balance branded level with trucks and jump pads, the alligator-infested bog where every step counts, the chaotic conveyor belt factory, and the compact ice stage where there's no room to run, so best be ready to throw down as you're forced into close quarters combat. Lastly, the characters themselves even differ in style, with some, like Nanbu and Damdam, who excel with speed and can zip across stages with ease, while others like Yamada-san struggle to keep up thanks to her clunky high heels. These differences add an extra layer of strategy as each character feels distinct in both strengths and weaknesses. Also, I have to mention the charming loading screens, where Damdam busts out his best moves. It's little details like this that add that extra personality that really make me love a game. Sporting both a story mode and two-player versus, a quirky cast of playable fighters, including a dancing fish head, and a wide swath of eclectic stages packed with clever features and devious tricks, Damdam Stompland delivers a distinct and frenzied multiplayer experience that is perfectly tied together with its madcap approach to the format, making it a real standout in the PlayStation's diverse library. And with an extremely accessible price point of $20 to $30, you'd be silly not to add it to your collection. However, with its lack of full 4-player support, limiting matches to one-on-one battles only, it does lose that breakneck chaotic charm that makes something like Keriotosse such an engaging party game. And while Dam Dam Stompland certainly carves out its own gleeful identity, it doesn't quite capture the same magic that defines the best in the genre. Yet it still comes highly recommended, and with the addition of upgrades and downgrades, I'd say it improves upon the formula in ways that Keriotosse didn't, leading to its own brand of nail-biting showdowns. So, the next time you're in need of some offbeat and charismatic multiplayer fun, give Damdam Stompland a shot. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, consider checking out these other videos right here, or even subscribing. Also, if you'd like to throw me a couple of bucks, you can support the show on Patreon.